What do you want to see?
Right, this is the Revere spec Navara MP300.
What do you want to see?
Right, this is the Revere spec Navara MP300.
NP, yeah?
NP.
NP. N for November.
Techno spec, isn't it?
It is a Techno spec. That's the base model, what they've worked with, which is the top of the range. Comes with all the trimmings, as is. To be fair, you're really lucky if you buy a Techno anyway, because you get quite a lot with it. But what Revere have done is gone the extra mile to make it that little bit more special and that little bit more personalised, as they do with all their vehicles, and do a good job doing it. So you're focusing on the grille there. That's obviously something that they've had custom built for this model to put on there to completely change the front of it, which is quite nice. The standard one's got a lot of chrome on it. In fact, the standard Techno's got a lot of chrome on it, but actually what Revere have done is put it all back to black, bar their Revere badges, which has a couple scattered around, one on the front, centre caps on the wheels, some nice little ones here, look, tailored edition.
How big are these wheels?
They're 22s, I believe, with some big old rubber on them.
And Revere have had these made purposely for this truck.
Yeah, as far as I know, they do that for all their vehicles. You know, they're not like someone that goes and buys stock wheels off the shelf and then drills them to suit the vehicle. They actually have got designers that work with the manufacturers to make sure that the wheels are right for the vehicle, so they take the right load, they're the right size.
Got some blue coil springs in there as well. They upgraded them, have they?
Yeah, the suspension's an upgrade as well. It's had a little bit of a lift on it as well. I think it's an inch or two, something like that, just to give it a bit more presence on the big wheels. Going back to what I was saying about the chrome, these side runners, as filthy as they are, it's that time of year. It's a used truck, it's not a brand new vehicle you're reviewing. They've got chrome as standard, but they've wrapped them obviously in black. What would have been nice is to have had it all cleaned and polished up really to do this today, but...
And just underneath the wing mirrors here, we've got the cameras for parking, is that right?
Yeah, so, I can't remember what they call it now, the system. Summit assisted parking, but what it is, there's cameras underneath the wing mirrors and around the vehicle, so when you're in it, it's like you've got a bird's eye view. We'll show you that in a minute, that's fine.
And the wind deflectors, you've had those put on, haven't you?
Yeah, the wind deflectors, no, they're not Revere, they were an aftermarket thing again. Just a nice little finishing touch really. Windows are obviously been tinted, that's Revere again.
Door handles, so they've got
good Pilkington glass as well. Door handles were chrome, they've gone black.
Roof rails as well.
Rails were chrome, they've gone black. The bars are an add-on, Revere have put them on. Mountain top, roll top. There's various different models that they make of these roller shutters and tonneau covers, whatever they call them. In my opinion, these are the better ones because they can take a little bit of weight on the top. You know, you can get up there and stand on that. I will demonstrate that in case you think I'm lying to you. But you can walk around on these. They won't take loads of weight, but you know, if that was a leather cover or something, you'd be through it, wouldn't you? So it does have a little bit of security to it. And like I say, you can put a bit of lightweight on there as well. The design of them's really good. Just going back to the Revere bits, the tailgate isn't on the central lock-in as standard from Nissan. That's something that Revere deal with and tie into the central lock-in, which is really useful, as you can imagine.
Revere also tinted the rear lights, didn't they?
Yeah, the rear lights have been done as well. There's loads of little bits and pieces on the styling side. That's what Revere's all about really, that sort of makes it personal, makes them stand out. The cover just slides back like that.
I see you've got the load bed divider as well.
Yeah, so I'll get in there and show you what that's all about. With these bed dividers, they're a really good thing. You'll have to excuse all the stuff in there. We've got all the Christmas decorations ready to go. But what the bed divider does, you can undo these knobs here to loosen it off and unsecure it, and this will actually slide along these rails all the way down to nearly the end and give you compartments inside the bed, which is really useful for many things. I mean, I've used it, you go and pick your shopping up for argument's sake. Being in a pickup, you haven't got a boot, have you, because you've got your back seat. And if you put your shopping in the back of a pickup, by the time you get home, your eggs are one end and your milk's the other.
And then you never get them out. I've been there, done
You're
that.
climbing in there, you're getting filthy dirty, it's a pain. It is an absolute pain. But with these bed dividers, you can just pull that down, tighten them off, and that'll make that nice and solid then. So you've got your little section, private section for your shopping or whatever, and then your tools and your other bits and that can go at the front. And
I've never seen that on any of the other pickups. I've come from the Hilux and that never had anything like that. So.
no, I mean, I had L200s a while ago, older model admittedly, but I was forever rooting around in the back for stuff and it was all getting mixed around and you couldn't keep anything clean. It was an absolute pain in the arse. I mean, the bed tray makes a big difference. You can obviously hose that out or sweep that out and that keeps things quite clean, but this divider, it's definitely something I wouldn't be without again if I was to have another pickup.
A really good idea.
Yeah, and it's quite well made as well, so if you've got a heavy load in there and the heavy load sliding around, it has got the strength to sort of stop it. You know, it's not something that's flimsy that's going to just disappear on you.
Is that a Nissan Extra, do you think, or is that Revere?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because obviously I brought the vehicle, you know, finished. I don't know if that's something they put on there. I should imagine it probably is, because if you look at the rails that it runs on, the mountain top roller shutter clips into that, so if it ain't something they do, I'm sure it's something they're gonna or they're about to. It is quite good. You do, the mountain top covers are really good. You do lose about a foot up the front of the bed, just where it sort of concertinas up, which is not ideal, but to be honest, I haven't noticed it. Stuff in there, look. Obviously, the strap is for ease of closing it up, so you ain't got to get in there and try and pull on it. You know, you can get a bit more leverage with a strap. Just lock it off. That's nice and secure now. Sling that in there.
Perfect.
Take the button out your pocket, or being a keyless as well, something else that comes on this spec, the bed's now locked. Very useful.
Is that because you've got the key in your pocket, is it?
Yeah, you need to be within close proximity of the vehicle, obviously, for obvious reasons, but you can just let yourself in and out. It's handy if you got stuff in your hands, or, you know, I say you got stuff in your hands. 2 baby seats in there. I've got little girls.
Not a lot of room in there, is there, with a baby seat?
No, there's a lot of stuff in it though, to be fair. I'm, you know, 6'2". I've got the seat as far back as it'll go, and there's plenty of room in there for the little one's legs. It will go forward, you can have a bit more on there, but to be fair, as far as pickups go, there's a lot more room in this than there has been in others that I looked at. This is definitely the more of the spacious, and they're quite a big child seat as well if you know, look at it from that point of view.
And you've got the ISOFIX on the rear seats as well?
There is ISOFIX on the rear seats, yeah, although they're in on the belts, there is ISOFIX on there. Electric windows in the back, obviously. Going back in the front, it's filthy dirty in here, you'll have to excuse the mess. But if you look in there, you've got Revere stitching in the headrests. There's a nice little touch as well that they do. Nice leather seats.
Well, I see.
Yep, sunroof in there.
All the extras from the Tecna, so you get the sat nav, all your cameras for reversing and front parking, and you've seen the cameras under the mirrors.
Let me up in there, I'll give you a demonstration quickly on that. So if we stick this in reverse, the cameras come on, so we've got the rear of the vehicle, obviously the tow bar there, and then you've got this bird's eye type view, which is actually a lot more useful than it looks.
Anything else on the truck that you can...
We've got the wheel, the camera on the wheel as well there. You can see the front wheel there moving, look.
Just focus in on that. Yeah.
The camera on the wheels are really, really good addition
really good
for parking. Really does help with the size of the vehicle.
Got the automatic box. You've got paddle shifts as well with this? Or?
No paddles on these. No, it's not a sports vehicle, is it? It's, you know, urban utility. It's.
You've got the diff lock as well, haven't you?
Yeah, diff lock there as well. Does come in handy, I've got to be honest.
Oh, it's all really nice. Can you tell us anything else more about the truck?
Well, I think that's pretty much give you a good summary. I mean, we could be here all day talking through all the little bits and pieces that it's got. It's, you know, a Techno spec, so it's fully loaded. So please do your research on one of them, and then sort of consider the fact that Revere have had their hands on it. And then further to Revere, it's been to Autotronics as well. It's had a premium sound system put in it, all running through the standard head unit. £5,000 of extra in here. There's a DSP unit, which makes it all sound musical again and puts the music back how the artist intended for you to hear it. You're not going to be able to appreciate that on the camera, of course.
Going back to the Revere, does that deviate from the Nissan warranty at all, being somebody else has messed about with the truck?
No, it's obviously being a new vehicle, you know, they do have silly little teething problems. I was having a few issues with the DAB radio not picking up on the signal. I went back down to Nissan, they come out, you know, they were really helpful, they were admiring the vehicle, said it's a really nice, you know, Revere edition. They took it in, done the work on it, got the DAB working fine. You know, an hour or two later I picked the vehicle up, no problems. Whilst I was there, I did ask the question, is any of the modifications going to affect the warranty? And they said no, it's good for 5 years or 100,000 miles.
All good. Well, you thinking of selling it, you say, or?
Yeah, it's actually up for sale at the moment. I've got it up on the eBay. It's up for 36k at the minute, if anyone's interested. Sounds a lot of money, but it's a lot of truck, you know.
How many miles has the truck got?
It's currently on 17,396. It is in use, so that might go up a little bit, depending on how quick you put your hand in your pocket. But I think for the money, you're getting a hell of a lot of truck. You know, as I say, the sound system's had 5k. There's one of 25 at the minute, limited edition.
Really? Is that how many there are? That's
yeah,
good, isn't it?
they're planning on doing different things all the time, aren't they? But if you know anything about Revere, they normally work a lot with the Bentleys, the Range Rovers.
That's really going to help with the residual value if there's only 25 of them. So.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I've took obviously the biggest kick, taking it from new off the forecourt, but you know, the second person round, they should have a little bit more luck with it, and if they look after it, they won't lose too much. It's just not ideal for me, for the work that I do, really. Sadly, as beautiful as it is, as lovely as it is to drive, as lovely as the kids enjoy it, I need a bit more room for tools and purposes, and I think I need to go back to a box-shaped van, really.
Right, there you had it. So if you've got any nice vans that you're thinking of upgrading to a truck, here's your man.
Yeah.
Your messages at the bottom, or perhaps send a message via eBay, see what we can do. I think that about wraps it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Is there anything else you want to know?
No, I think we'll put a link in the video to the eBay advert, so if you are interested, there's easy access to that advert. Right, thanks a lot.
Should we get out of it then? It's getting cold, isn't it?